Hello, everyone, and welcome. As you know, I'm S. Barry Hamdani, the Relationship Messenger. Today, I am going to truly inspire you. If you get a hold of this is going to impact the way you look at life for the remainder of your life. It's going to give you something you need. And here it is. There is one thing, one element that all successful relationships have in common. There is one element that all successful entrepreneurs have in common. One element that all highly successful people have in common, and it is within you. There's one thought that you need to focus upon and pour your energy into that will give you the fulfillment that you're looking for. And there's one thought that you hope would never become a reality in your life. One thought you need to focus upon that is fulfilling. One thought that you never want to control your life. One thought you want to live with, and one thought that you do not want to die with. And here it is. When you come in contact with your purpose in life, the thing that you were destined to do, you're going to discover a fulfillment that you didn't even think was possible. And you may wonder, okay, Barry, if that's true, why don't most people do it? Great question. Most people live a life and never come in contact with this because they are afraid of it. Well, what is it that they are afraid of? People are afraid that they are not enough. People are afraid that they do not have enough education to do the thing that they are purposed to do. In fact, they don't look for it or don't really focus upon it or don't open themselves up to the blessings of God in the universe because they've already made a cognitive decision that they can't do it. Somebody told them they didn't have enough education, enough money, that they didn't have the right experience, or that they had to do something menial in life just so that they could eat. All those resources of knowledge and education is important, but it is not the defining element that determines your destiny. Now, let me share this with you. Your destiny has already been placed before you. It's already been determined. It's up to you whether or not you are going to reach your destiny. The thing that has been purposed for you can be understood and found by you in this particular place, which is a result of the thought, that single thought, which is a catalyst that takes you there. It is spiritual in nature. However, there are many patterns in your life, patterns that repeat. And that may sound like one and the same, repetition and patterns. It's conceived the same, but it is spiritually and neurologically different. There are patterns that are happening in your biology, in your spirit, and in your mind. And to come in contact with this, you must use the catalyst of thought and meditation to get you there. It doesn't take a long time. This is something you can accomplish 5 minutes a day if you commit yourself to what you want to accomplish in life. You need to go to a secret place and you need to think. You need to do this at the time of day, which is for most people early in the morning, so that you can get in contact with something greater than yourself. See, Moses had to go to the mountain. Ezekiel had to go to the valley. People have to move to some place that is void, Jonah had to run. And this was not about religion, it's about truth. And if you think it's something that is about religion, then just ask any well-informed uh, uh, psychoanalyst, clinical psychologist, or an expert in biology, particularly biochemistry and the way that it impacts the thought system, a biolinguist, a linguistic master, a psychiatrist, or a well informed minister. And here's what you're going to find, that like Thora, you have to go to the hills and you have to have some peace. And you have to get into this thought. It's not a serious transcendental meditation, just a thought, getting in touch with yourself so that you can see what it is that you're supposed to do in life and stop faking. Many people are in jobs that they are trying to convince themselves that this job makes them happy. It could be a menial job. It may be a job that actually produces something of value in life. But if it's not for you, then it's not for you. And every day people go through these menial jobs and they're grossly unhappy. Well, what does that have to do with relationships? Well, here's what it has to do with relationships. You don't want to be in a relationship with someone like that. I'm not putting down their work. I'm putting down the fact that they're called to something greater and they are afraid to get in touch with it. People who are experiencing great success in relationships are two individuals who are drawn to their destiny. They're doing the things that they were called to do in life, and therefore there's less demand and less pressure on their partner because they are in themselves happy. To thine own self be true. People who are generally unfulfilled and unhappy in relationships are unfulfilled and unhappy when they're not in a relationship because they're not drawn to their point of destiny. Well, what does Moses on the mountain, Ezekiel in the valley, Jonah running, what does these things all have in common with where you need to be in your relationship? What it has in common is it is the beginning of something. And I think that during this pandemic, many people are coming into the beginning of something new because they're away from the jobs that they're accustomed to, and they're spending more time at home. This is not a time to be sad or to feel down or to be shocked and afraid. This is a time to garnish, embrace something that is new because it is already speaking to you. It is the silent voice within your soul. But you need to block out everything, which is why I mentioned Moses on the mountain, Ezekiel in the valley, Jonah on a ship. There are places that you need to go to get away from the noise so that you can think. And as you think, you are going to grasp what I am saying to you. You're going to discover your real purpose in life, and you'll stop running and hiding behind an unfulfilling job. Stop running and hiding behind some religious activity that you think that makes you better. You'll stop hiding from life. You'll stop hiding from yourself. You're going to find yourself in that same place that God focused upon at the beginning of the world. The earth was dark and without form. You need to go to the place where there is no form, where you see absolutely nothing because you blocked everything out. And that is the place of creation. And in your mind, in your consciousness, and get this, your consciousness is designed to bring forth things in the future into the present moment. That's the type of power you have when you get into this place consistently, in this place that I'm speaking of. So Human consciousness is designed to cause you to move forward into the thing that you're destined to do. It is a fulcrum of awareness that catapults you forward. And long as you're living in mediocrity, gossip, caught up in the sensationalism of TV, caught up in the sensationalism of what movie star married who and who had a baby by who, you are being controlled by something outside yourself. And those are not the thoughts that facilitate moving towards your destiny. You're sitting there praising someone who has already reached their destiny. I noticed an article the other day, men fighting, knife fighting over a football game, a professional football game, because somebody's team lost and someone had something bad to say about it. Think about that. You're fighting over men who are millionaires, who care nothing about you, and many of you better not be caught in their neighborhoods at night. But the point that I'm making is that you've given your mind over to something else. There's nothing wrong with entertaining yourself in a football game, but why are you idolizing it? Why are you making it something more important than your purpose in life? And this happens with people who make good money also. They're still bored. That's why they drink so heavily. That's why they're on drugs. That's why they run women. That's why they gamble. They're looking for something to fulfill them. I said that there's one thought that you want to have, which I just explained to you, and that is to go to a place where in consciousness you can bring the things from the future into the present moment. I said also there was one thing that you did not want to happen to you in this life, and that is you do not want to die with regret. This is part 1 of a series. I don't know if we're going to have 2, 3, 4 parts. But I need you to focus on what I've said today. I said that I will show you those 2 things, the thought that you want to focus upon daily, even if it's only 5 minutes, and the thought that you never want to manifest in your life, which is one of regret. And here's what regret really means to you, both spiritually and scientifically, is that in consciousness, at some point, you came to a point where you realized destiny was calling you. And you felt that it was too great for you, so you turned it down. You didn't want to walk in that direction. That is the thing that you will regret if you don't do it. Barry Hamdani, may God bless you. I hope you've been inspired. Until we talk again, God bless you. Please like, share, subscribe.